What is up, everyone? Crunchy Frog here, and we are back again with some more Modern Warfare 3 news and information. So, as you might know, Season 2 for Modern Warfare 3 dropped a couple weeks ago, about a little over a month ago now, and that means that today we are now up to about the midway point of Season 2, and they have released the mid-season update, Season 2 Reloaded. Now, this update brings a bunch of new content, some fixes, and some much-needed UI updates and improvements to the game and everything like that. So today I wanted to go through two of the blog posts that Call of Duty has posted, both of the Season 2 Reloaded summary as well as the patch notes, just kind of hit all the major points. I will be linking both below in the description, but I wanted to just go through both of those blog posts, let you know what to expect with the brand new updates, and kind of give my thoughts as we go. Now, I will preface this with I have not had the chance to play any of this, so I can't give my review on any of it, just kind of a surface level idea of what I think of all the stuff that's being added, what I like, what I dislike, and then obviously as the season goes on, as I get to play it here in the next couple of days, maybe I can give you guys a more in-depth review and analysis later on. But as always, if you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to leave a like rating on the video as it helps other people find the channel. If you want to see more videos like this covering all things Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty, and gaming in general, please make sure to press the subscribe button so you can find all of my new videos. And of course, if you would like to support the channel monetarily, make sure to click the join button to sign up and get exclusive rewards and become a member of the family. So with that all out of the way, let's get right into it. So the big things to hit here, obviously with the Reloaded, they typically release a couple guns, a couple maps, a couple modes. There's usually a event tie-in as of recently, so that's kind of the main things to expect, and that's the first thing it talks about here. Obviously there's a new remastered 6v6 multiplayer map, so we will be revisiting Das Haus from Call of Duty Vanguard in a whole new location. It's now on top of a skyscraper, obviously modernized, stuff like that, but keeping the same layout and fun frenetic elements of Das Haus that you remember from Vanguard. We are also introducing Bounty and Juggermosh, so those are two brand new modes coming to the game. And we'll talk about those here in a little bit. There's also Vortex, Decay's Realm, which again is another Vortex game mode played on kind of remixed versions of maps, and we will get to that later. So once again, the new map that drops today, same layout and everything that you remember from Das Haus, fully upgraded on the new engine. On a skyscraper now, kind of like a construction area, as opposed to that very shoot house vibe. I think the original map was like a German training facility for infiltrating the White House, if I recall correctly. So this is totally redone, but same sightline, same everything like that. And a lot of people enjoyed Das Haus. This will be another fun small map to add to the game. And like I said, the map offering this year is really good. I'm kind of happy to see a remaster like this. Obviously Vanguard's only 2 years or 3 years ago or whatever at this point. But regardless, I love seeing them fill out the map offering with a lot of fan favorites and, sticking with what works while still giving it a fresh coat of paint. So next up, they go on to talk about the playlist and everything like that. Obviously, again, we get a whole new Vortex with the addition of Airborne and Skid Grow, alongside the previous ones, Tetanus, Sporyard, and Satan's Quarry. So obviously, there's a playlist for that. You can hop in and compete on all the new map variants across several game modes and stuff like that. And there's also a in-game event coming later in the season called Decay's Realm. It sounds like a weekly challenge or event and that type of thing. Airborne is obviously a kind of a Last of Us almost themed map on Terminal. So everything's like overgrown with like spores and, kind of like fungus and stuff like that. It says it's victim to an alien infestation covering the environment in a putrid green growth. Just kind of reminds me of a lot of the visuals we saw in like The Last of Us, with the fungus kind of growth going on. And obviously it's the same map, just looks a little different. And Skid Grow is kind of like a post-apocalyptic variant of Skid Row, which, kind of is reminiscent of, The Walking Dead. I know that was a huge crossover for this season specifically. So, it was supposed to be after the fall of civilization, so nature kind of slowly taking over here. Again, same map, looks really cool. And I just have to say, I really, really, really enjoy these map variants, right? They're obviously probably pretty easy for the development team to make as opposed to designing a whole new map or completely remastering a different map from a previous game. But they're also fun for us, right? We like seeing a fresh new take on the map without anything crazy. And I really hope that they add all of these, all these kind of remix maps. I hope they add them into regular rotation. So you could play Skid Row, and then maybe the next match you play Skid Grow, or you play Satan's Quarry, and later on you see Quarry come up, right? Just kind of mix them in after all of these events are over, after all said and done, scoot them into the main playlist and really just grow out that already impressive map offering. So I really loved the first Vortex, event that happened back in Season 1, and I'll definitely make a point to play this, maybe even this weekend. And, looking forward to jumping into this. Now, they are adding 2 new modes, Bounty and Juggermosh. Bounty basically is described as face-off against the enemy in Team Deathmatch, where players have unlimited lives and the first team to reach the elimination-based score limit wins. However, the biggest slayer on each team will be designated as like a high-value target of sorts, and they carry a flag and is highlighted for everyone, and they get extra points. So kind of like, kill the number one player on the other team to get your guys more points. And it sounds like a pretty cool mode. I want to say this has been in Call of Duty before. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if this is brand new, but I feel like this has been in there before. But regardless, it sounds like a fun mode. Maybe not something that I'll be diving into, but something that mixes up the traditional Call of Duty formula. And then next up we have Juggermosh, which the picture they even have here is alluding to, and we'll talk about this later, the Warhammer 40k crossover that they're doing. And it goes on to say, it's heavy combat, you basically face off as imposing juggernauts, but you're dressed up in the Space Marine skin inspired by the Warhammer 40k. So it sounds just like Juggernaut. I know they've had like Juggernaut game modes in the past. This time it's, your skins will just be made to look like the Warhammer. So it's kind of odd. I guess you don't need to purchase the skins, at least from what I'm, kind of reading from all this. So it is kind of cool for them to let us don like a store skin essentially by default, incorporate it as part of the match, and you don't have to pay for it. Obviously you won't be able to use these skins outside of this mode if you don't purchase them, but it seems pretty cool. And then there's also basically it does confirm here that it offers you the same capabilities as a Juggernaut recon kill streak. So, everyone's kind of on the similar, playing field there. You fight over a one-hit kill melee weapon called a chainsword in the center of the map. So that kind of brings back old school Halo vibes of trying to fight over the energy sword back in the day, back in the early 2000s there. So I think that's pretty cool. That mode might be fun. I might definitely check that out with my friends. And then obviously it goes on to talk about kind of the crossover, which I'm not going to get into details, but there is a crossover event. I'm sure there'll be weekly challenges and events and modes and stuff like that with the Space Marines and stuff from Warhammer 40k. So we won't touch on that too much. Then it goes on to talk about everything added to Zombies, and obviously there's a new story mission, so we're going to keep the story from Zombies going if you've been paying attention to that. You investigate a new anomaly, and it says presenting terrifying and exciting challenges you haven't encountered before. There's also a new Dark Ether Rift, which I have not done one of these yet. I haven't played Zombies in a while. I was going pretty hard at Zombies there for a minute, but we never got to the Dark Ether Rifts. But they added a new one. I've heard some good things from Zombies players about the first round, so there's a brand new Dark Ether Rift for you to tackle here. There's also a new Warlord, Carries, which is a chemical warfare specialist who's willing to use any means necessary to choke out opposing operators. And then finally, there's new schematics, everything like that, for you to craft more things. It says, fire and keep on firing with the mags of holding, summon an otherworldly two-wheeler with the blood burner, and expand your squad with the VR11 wonder weapon. So these are all new schematics that you can earn in-game and then, craft and bring into your games as you, kind of sign in there. The blog post then goes on to kind of discuss everything coming to Warzone. Now, I am not going to be covering those here today since this isn't really a Warzone channel. I haven't played in several years now. You guys know how I feel about Warzone. So if you want to find out more about what's coming to Warzone, I think there's like new POIs and a bunch of new stuff coming there. Make sure to click in the description. I'll have these blog posts link, and you can read everything that's coming to Warzone and stuff like that, but we won't cover it here. Next up, it gives a general overview of some extra things that are coming. There will be two new weapons. So that will be the Soul Render melee weapon and the SOA Subverter battle rifle. So they're adding another battle rifle to the game, which is pretty cool. And then it goes on to say, obviously, there's a Godzilla and Kong crossover, a Doom crossover. There's 975 brand new skins and store bundles and all kinds of stuff like that. And then obviously it does say that there will be a bunch of mid-season challenges and things like that to kind of unlock as they go through, including with the Dune crossover and the Warhammer crossover and things of that nature. So that about summarizes it for the main blog post for Season 2 Reloaded, but I did want to cover a few things from the patch notes section, including some things that I have been asking for months, and I know many of the community has, so I'm happy to see them come. So one of the first things, obviously I'm not going to touch too big on all the bugs and glitches. Again, you could check that out if you want. You have time in the description below. But some of the big things that they've added, they've now added the ability to feature or filter attachments by subcategories in the Gunsmith. So you could filter optics by hybrid, 4x, thermal, sniper scope, 2.5x, red dot, reflex, and hollow. So with the hundreds and hundreds of attachments that are now in the game, this is massive. You can also go through just the various subcategories and now filter them. So you don't have to look through 200 different muzzle attachments. You could just look for the 5 or 10 breacher muzzle attachments that are in the game, stuff like that. They've also added the ability, and this is massive, they've added the ability to track up to 5 challenges to view outside the challenge menu. Now, these appear in the in-game pause menu and lobby. I have been asking for this, honest to God, since I think Modern Warfare 2019, because, obviously the games are so focused around challenges now, whether it be daily, weekly, the event challenges, camo challenges, all kinds of challenges. Like, the games are built around you completing these little challenges, right? The dangling the carrot on the stick. However, once you get in game, all bets are off. You don't know. And especially with how bad some of these challenges track, it really sucks having to just guess. How many headshots have I got? Did it count that double kill? Did it count that kill streak? Did it think I was sliding during that kill? Stuff like that, right? Everything tracks so piss poor in this game that it's nice seeing it right up in front. And this would have been an absolute blessing during the camo grind. Now, obviously, I already have Interstellar, so, this is kind of a little too late for me, but I'm sure I'll still, enjoy tracking challenges going forward, whether they be daily challenges or maybe even the few new guns that have come out. If I want to try to get Interstellar on those as well, it'll be nice to have those up front and you can just check them immediately. You don't have to any guesswork. You don't have to count on your fingers how many you needed or anything like that, and hope and pray that the challenge eventually tracks, or worry if you miss the challenge pop-up coming up on your screen, which has happened several times. I can't tell you how many times I just missed the pop-up and then kept trying to get specific kills or whatever and wasted an entire match trying to complete a challenge that was already complete. So I think this is a massive change. It couldn't have been a hard change to implement either, so I don't know why it took so long, but I'm very happy it's here. Big kudos to Sledgehammer and the devs over on the Call of Duty team. They've also added a Mark All Red button for the social notification center. Again, that's just a little quality of life improvement, nothing crazy. There is a slew of bug fixes and everything like that. Again, I'm not going to go over any of those and kind of address all of that, but obviously there's a bunch of bug fixes and weapon nerfs, weapon buffs, things like this. They go in depth. And I gotta say, I'm really, really happy that they've given us, like these individual patch notes say, increase bullet velocity benefit from 15% to 20% for a specific barrel on a specific gun, right? They are literally showing the exact, they didn't just say, oh, we tweaked some damage values, or, oh, we made this barrel a little better like they have in the past. They full on drill down to the very, very, very deep specifics and statistics for all of these and everything. So that's great to see. Obviously, if you're a total statistics nerd and you want to find out everything that happened to your favorite or least favorite weapons in the game, make sure to click that link in the description to head on over to the actual blog post and find out everything that's going. Obviously, they do go on to reiterate everything that's added to zombies and stuff like that. They also, they mentioned here, they did not mention in the other blog post there, but they mentioned that they introduced containment levels, a tiered exfil streak system, which is immediately available to all players. So you complete contracts and successfully up exfil from the EZ to increase your containment level up to 100 across 10 tiers. And basically your rewards increase. I'm assuming this is kind of like a streak thing. So like at level 2, you start with 500 essence the moment you spawn in. At the max one, there's a 20% discount on pack-a-punches, stuff like that. So I'm not going to go through every tier and every level and stuff like that to show. If you're unable to successfully exfil, you will be knocked back a single tier. So you don't go the whole way back to the beginning, but it is kind of like a streak, right? So if you exfil a whole bunch of times, you're going to level up and you're going to start loading in with more stuff. So it's a way to kind of, gain momentum and gain more and more progress and stuff like that. You start loading in with a lot more essence and, there's various discount on things, just giving you a leg up for, kind of rewarding you for going through there and doing all of that. So that about wraps it up, guys. Pretty much everything else that they mentioned, again, just various fixes, buffs, nerfs, everything like that throughout the game. You can check that out, the blog post. I'm not going to go through all of them here. So overall, my thoughts on the Season 2 Reloaded, it's not a massive amount of content. I think Season 2 as a whole gave us a lot of the stuff that we were asking for, a lot of the stuff that we really wanted. So I think overall it is a great season. Season 2 Reloaded just kind of, fills out that offering. So I'm pretty pumped to see. I love the map variants. I love the new remastered DOS house. Again, 2 more weapons, even though one of us is a melee weapon, but we'll let it slide. And really, those UX fixes, including, seeing those challenges on your screen at all times and being able to filter weapon attachments and everything like that. Those are massive. Those are things we've been asking for, so I'm extremely happy to see them added in. I know during the Season 2, kind of preview video that I had put out, we talked a lot about their fixes with aiming and everything. That was very community driven, right? Community feedback is being listened to, it feels like, which Sledgehammer is always really good at. They've always been good at that. They listen to the community a lot more traditionally than the other 2 studios. A hell of a lot more in Infinity Ward, that's for sure. And so it's awesome to see kind of these things that we never thought would be fixed suddenly get fixed. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys' thoughts are. Are you excited to play any of this new content? Do you see yourself buying any of these new skins or crossovers or anything like that? Let me know what you're most excited for in this Season 2 Reloaded update, again, down there in the comment section below. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.